Kapording ha Meghalaya kaleman kapor Kongres ka kular Bandung du boarding ha nong kendong ni hasar
5 commitments na kaseng Congress na kabinta ka 5-star Meghalaya.
Vote for your 5-star Meghalaya. Vote for Congress.
Ban pensutho ikipat ba jong jala Meghalaya bakin nang yat banjit kinong mi khmat haganik election MLA mentakasnam arhajar arpulai khamtam ban amjit gi kertong keseng BJP NPP TMC bat kiwe de kibran benta bak sarkar MDA hakabal kenno ahlor ki babun ki jing deko pyntreikam joka kaseng Indian National Congress jan man nakasngi kelawat ki jing duna jong sarkar MDA bat banthat madan ahlor kita ki jing duna bat ki jing kenno ki babun jat Dang hagan opai sengi jongka khatsan terek urempang arhajar arpulai. Ka Meghalaya Pradesh Congress Committee lengba kasang knor jongka AICC social media and digital platforms ka Supriya Srinate. Kala kentok tenge ekseng BJP bat NPP halur kijing keno ki babunjat ki bede bagi kambam sap bat kajing dekok pyntreikam mekitanat sarkar boper hakapor jongka sarkar MDA. Ka Supriya haka jinge keren beginong patai kubor nengkong e kelapan pau halor kisan tadi kimat kibah khmat e kibah keseng kongres ke buah khmat joginong syakšnong ka jela lada kawan haka bor synshar baken thop ikijing kular ban ai lai hajar tengkashi benai naga benta kilong kemi kibam dan syu ukurim ban penbiang ke boarding elektrik ban peni okam ki samla ban ni khun persai udrok sa jela bat kamat kebasan kelong ban wengi ki kambam sap ha kitnat boper jong ke sarkar
about what is it that we want to do for Meghalaya. We are not alien to Meghalaya, we've run successful governments in Meghalaya, we've done much better on every parameter of governance in Meghalaya than anybody else. But just to remind you here that we are envisaging and we are talking about a 5-star Meghalaya. And that 5-star Meghalaya includes 3,000 rupees per month for single mothers. And this erratic power cut has been troubling people in Meghalaya, and the present incumbent government has found no solution to this. So a power cut free Meghalaya, a drug free Meghalaya. One of the biggest problems that is rampant, that saddles our youth, is the rampant use of drugs, and we want a drug free Meghalaya. So 3,000 rupees for every single mother, a drug-free Meghalaya, a power cut-free Meghalaya. We are talking about jobs. One deserving candidate from each household, we promise to create a job for them. And most of all, we want to talk about a corruption-free Meghalaya. Because the last 5 years of the government in Meghalaya are marked by and saddled with corruption allegations. Rampant corruption allegations in all spheres of governance. It is health, it's education, it's public property, it's construction, it's infrastructure. Corruption is so rampant in Meghalaya that the real beneficiaries are being denied the benefits of what could have been development. And so we are talking about a corruption-free Meghalaya in which our emphasis is on transparency laws, which will hold those in power accountable. So we are going to go into these elections with 5 big promises. Of course, our manifesto, very detailed, talks about what else is it that we want to do.
Kapording ha Meghalaya kaleman kapor Kongres ka kular Bandung du boarding ha nong kendong ni hasar
5 commitments na kaseng Congress na kabinta ka 5-star Meghalaya.
Vote for your 5-star Meghalaya. Vote for Congress.
How do we else want to benefit and empower women? How is it that we want to increase the police participation in women participation in the police forces, a corpus for building infrastructure for religious gatherings, and multiple things like that. But the 5 stars of our 5-star campaign and our 5-star promise and our 5-star Meghalaya are, like I told you, 3,000 for every single mother, a power cut Meghalaya, a corruption-free Meghalaya, and most of all, job for every deserving candidate in every household. That the BJP president has told the people of Meghalaya, through all of you esteemed media colleagues, that there will be a special task force under a retired Supreme Court judge to investigate cases of corruption against the NDA ruling alliance. Two of your ministers were sitting on that stage when you made that boisterous claim. But somebody should turn around and ask you, you are a part of that government. You've got blood on your hands. So if there are corruption charges, they actually taint you as much as they taint your allied partners. And if you really need an investigation and probe, you should order one now. Why wait for after election? So this is the most bizarre claim made by an incumbent government that we will get a task force to investigate the charges of corruption leveled against us. I find it totally bizarre, and which is why I call it a jumla. And amongst many other things, whether it is some swaps for women or some swaps for education and things like that, I think the BJP's manifesto and the BJP's false promises have been found lacking because you've been in government for 5 years. You should go to the people of Meghalaya and tell them that these are the 5 things I've done. If you agree with us, vote us back in office. Otherwise, deny us that opportunity. But isn't that the classic BJP that when cornered on an issue, you just say this is not an issue of the election? Why is uranium mining not an issue of this election? I would like to know. They have a so-called double-engine government, and suddenly the engines start working in two different, start moving in two different directions when you're cornered on contentious issues. The problem with the BJP is that you are running a government with brute majority and brute authoritarianism, where even media channels and media houses like the BBC will not be spared, but you don't want to answer questions for which you are responsible. You are in power in the center. You are a part of the ruling alliance here in Meghalaya. You have pumped in money to poach, and now you want to say that this is not an election issue. This is as much an election issue as any other, and the BJP should be ashamed of itself for not talking about it. These institutions are meant to protect people. These institutions are meant to safeguard democracy. These institutions are meant to hold the governments of the day responsible. But these institutions have become cheerleaders of this government. And wherever they are, the NCPCR chief is not worried about the rising levels of malnutrition. They are not worried about rampant child trafficking. They are not worried about NCRB data year after year, pointing out that children are being sexually abused more every year than the previous year. What they are worried about is some child walking in Bharat Jodo Yatra. That's how vindictive they are. The National Commission for Women takes suo motu action on tweets by political opponents. But she doesn't utter a word when some of the most celebrated athletes of the country were sitting at Jantar Mantar and crying and were alleging sexual exploitation. She doesn't utter a word on Hathras. She doesn't utter a word on Ankita Thakur. She doesn't utter a word on how a BJP MLA is sexually exploited. What are we talking about? These institutions are meant to protect the people of this country. They are not meant to safeguard members of the BJP. You want to add something?
Are you panicky with the level of low AMH in your blood reports? AMH is the anti-Mullerian hormone that is released from your eggs. It is the indicator of the balance of your eggs at that particular time. It doesn't indicate your chances of pregnancy at all. So even if your AMH is 0.2, you still have a fair chance of pregnancy.